Welcome to another captivating episode of exciting archaeology news, where we shall set off on a fascinating exploration of the 12 strangest secrets of the ancient Egyptian Sphinx. The Sphinx is renowned worldwide as a remarkable ancient sculpture, yet there is still much to learn about it, and that's what we'll dive into today. Before we begin, don't forget to subscribe and hit that notification bell to stay ahead of all of our exciting episodes. Let's begin our journey exploring one intriguing theory proposed by historian Matt Simpson, which suggests that the presence of a hidden door or tunnel beneath the Sphinx leads to underground chambers. Simpson believes these tunnels connect the Sphinx to the pyramids of Giza. Surprisingly, an alleged French archaeological excavation in 1837 reportedly uncovered the secret doorway witnessed by Egyptologist Colonel Howard Weiss. However, both the team and Weiss kept the secret under wraps, leaving us to ponder why such a historically significant find would be concealed. The idea gained some support from the discovery of secret tunnels beneath the Giza Plateau in 2019, but the true purpose and the reason behind the secrecy remains unsolved. Another enigma revolves around the Sphinx's missing nose. The popular belief that Napoleon's army broke it during a battle in 1798 lacks concrete evidence and is largely questioned. Contrary to this, Arabian historian al-Makrizi states that the nose has been missing since at least the 15th century, possibly even earlier. He attributes the destruction to a Fatimid sheikh named Muhammad Siam el-Dar, but without definitive proof. An alternative, albeit controversial theory suggests that European explorers deliberately damaged the nose upon their discovery to hide its classically African appearance, which might have indicated that the ancient Egyptians were of African descent. And now let's explore some intriguing facts about the ancient Egyptian Sphinx, shedding light on its origin and construction. Firstly, the absence of inscriptions on the Sphinx raises questions about its builder and original purpose. While some speculate it might represent King Khafre and date back to 2558 to 2532 BC, there's no solid evidence supporting this claim. In fact, there's no unanimous agreement on who built the Sphinx, why it was built, or its intended purpose. This lack of information is concerning, considering it is not only one of the world's largest sculptures, but also the oldest known monument sculpture in Egypt. Oddly, the Sphinx's original name is lost to history, as it doesn't appear in any literature from the Old Egyptian Kingdom. During the New Kingdom era, it was referred to as Haramakhet, but this likely wasn't its original name either. The term Sphinx was only attributed to it about 2,000 years ago. The absence of records regarding its construction and naming from a civilization known for meticulous record-keeping raises suspicion and leads to questions about potential lost or destroyed records and their reasons. Moving on, we've come to acknowledge an undeniable aspect of the Sphinx's awe-inspiring construction, that it was carved from a single piece of rock. This massive monument, measuring 240 feet in length and standing 66 feet tall, is indeed a single limestone structure. The carving process involved the efforts of likely hundreds of workers who meticulously chipped away at the limestone to create the recognizable shape we see today. It's worth noting that the present-day Sphinx has undergone repairs and partial restoration using limestone blocks, altering its original form slightly. Such a monumental undertaking would be impressive even for modern construction and design companies. Considering that the ancient Egyptians accomplished this colossal task with basic hand tools, their level of skill and precision is nothing short of astonishing. Curiously, unlike many other Egyptian sculptures and structures, the Sphinx lacks inscriptions identifying its creators or the overseeing designer. This further adds to the mystery surrounding its origins. Some individuals even propose outlandish theories involving extraterrestrial involvement, but without concrete evidence, such speculations remain in the realm of conjecture. Delving further into more mysteries surrounding the Sphinx, we've come to discover the strange condition of its nose and its buried history. One theory proposes that the nose's disappearance was due to water erosion. Geologist Robert Schoch suggests that the evident erosion on the Sphinx's sides could have only occurred over thousands of years with regular rainfall. Curiously, this region hasn't experienced consistent rainfall for over 7,000 years. Schoch's assessment suggests an age of around 12,000 years for the Sphinx, a possibility that challenges conventional Egyptian history. It is important to note that many of Schoch's peers strongly disagree with his views, considering him a fringe theorist. Nonetheless, the visible water erosion damage on the Sphinx raises questions that mainstream theories have yet to fully answer. Another peculiarity is that the Sphinx remained hidden from view until the 18th century. Contrary to the popular notion of Napoleon's army breaking its nose, the Sphinx was entirely buried under the Egyptian sand until 1798. Its existence came to light when the sand shifted, revealing the top of its head. It wasn't until the 1920s that French engineer Émile Barrès began the decade-long excavation, eventually allowing the world to witness the Sphinx in 1936. Notably, notable figures like Italian explorer Giovanni Caviglia and French archaeologist Auguste Mariette attempted to uncover the Sphinx 150 years prior but had to abandon their efforts due to the overwhelming scale of the task. The deliberate burial of the Sphinx remains a mystery, with no conclusive information about who did it or the reasons behind it. Now we enter the realm of intriguing debates once more. Some scholars propose that the Sphinx might have originally represented Anubis, the dog-faced god, rather than Pharaoh Khafre, as conventional archaeological and historical theories suggest. There are varying perspectives on this matter. While some believe it could have been a lion, possibly symbolizing the sign Leo, lions did not hold significant cultural importance in ancient Egypt. On the contrary, dogs were revered due to their association with Anubis. Explaining the Sphinx's shape with its flat back and leg position, one might find resemblances to a dog. Considering that Anubis was believed to be the guardian of the necropolis, the possibility of the Giza Plateau served as a necropolis strengthens the argument for an enormous sculpture of Anubis watching over it. However, the notion of the Sphinx's face being altered significantly from its original form remains a possibility. Continuing on, the most significant revelation we have regarding the Sphinx is its elusive age. While it is undoubtedly older than the pyramids it overlooks, its precise age remains uncertain. Some theories suggest it could have been built around 2600 BC for Pharaoh Khafre, while others propose it might be several thousand years older. If we entertain an age of 9,000 years or more, we would need to consider the existence of an advanced civilization predating the ancient Egyptians, possibly laying the foundation for their culture. However, this does not imply extraterrestrial involvement, a popular belief among fringe theorists, but rather raises questions about the civilizations that inhabited the land before the ancient Egyptians. Another mysterious aspect of the Sphinx involves the potential missing part of its head. Some speculation suggests that it might have had a full forehead profile and upper skull or even a chin beard. Beyond the obvious damage to its nose, the rest of the face has also suffered considerable wear and tear over the millennia, which is expected given its age of at least 4,500 years in the desert. However, not all of this damage can be attributed to natural processes. The face appears to have been either intentionally disfigured or altered multiple times. Notably, the head seems disproportionately small compared to the body, which is unusual, as the ancient Egyptians were meticulous about proportions in their statues. This leads to two possibilities. Either the head is not the original, harkening back to the Anubis theory, or it has undergone significant chiseling and alteration, leaving little of the original features. More recently, a mystery surrounding the Sphinx's face emerged in 2022 when a photograph supposedly showed the monument with its eyes closed. This was perplexing since the Sphinx has been depicted with open eyes since its excavation in the 1930s. Multiple images circulated on social media, seemingly displaying the sculpture with both eyes shut, leading some fringe theorists to interpret it as a sign of an impending apocalypse. Nonetheless, a straightforward explanation for this peculiar phenomenon is probable. Two possibilities come to light. Firstly, the apparent photographs of the Sphinx with eyes closed might be an optical illusion, arising from specific angles of photography. Secondly, someone likely manipulated the original images using photo editing software. Considering the presence of several photos taken from different angles, the latter explanation appears more plausible. Thousands of individuals have seen and taken pictures of the Sphinx after these fake images surfaced, confirming that its eyes are indeed still open. Earlier, we mentioned the possibility of the Sphinx having a beard, and it turns out this is indeed a fact. Let's explore the mystery of the Sphinx's beard. In fact, it's not a mere possibility, but a confirmed fact that the Sphinx did have a beard. Evidence of this lies in a substantial piece of the Sphinx's beard currently housed in the British Museum, among many other ancient Egyptian artifacts. Interestingly, some question the presence of such artifacts in the British Museum, raising debates over their rightful location. According to the official historical account, the broken beard was discovered in pieces near the front part of the Sphinx during the 19th century. However, this narrative is disputed because we previously mentioned that the front paws of the Sphinx were buried under the sand until the 1930s. There are suggestions that Caviglia, an explorer, might have reached the paws before abandoning further excavation. The intriguing part is that the recent history of the Sphinx seems as riddled with uncertainties as its ancient history. Despite these uncertainties, the reality of the Sphinx's beard remains, prompting a campaign in Egypt to restore and reattach it to the monument's chin. The larger mystery surrounding the Sphinx revolves around its purpose and the reason for its creation. While we are all familiar with this world-renowned monument, few have paused to ponder its original intent. If it indeed represents Pharaoh Khafre, it may seem excessively vain, even by the standards of Egyptian rulers. Additionally, building such a colossal structure would have set a precedent, yet no successors of Khafre attempted to create their own Sphinx. Alternatively, if it was initially conceived as a massive sculpture of Anubis, the jackal-headed god, why was it later altered? The peculiar size difference between the head and the rest of the body raises further questions, as does the absence of written records about its creation and its original name. Was it designed for a higher purpose, or was it merely an impressive monument showcasing the authority of a specific pharaoh during a particular period? These are indeed intriguing questions that remain unanswered. As we conclude our journey through the mysteries of the Sphinx, we encourage you to subscribe and hit the notification bell for more exciting episodes on our channel. Thank you for joining us today, and we look forward to uncovering more ancient secrets together.